Time for Focus. Today we have a report from Quebec in Canada, almost 3 weeks after 6 Muslim men were murdered by a student with far-right views. The vice president of the mosque that was targeted telling France 24, quote, "We saw it coming." While many Canadians expressed their solidarity after the attack, others carried out hate crimes against Muslims. Islamophobia has been on the up in recent years. Pierre Millet and Katja Berger report.
Since January 29th, police have been guarding the entrance to this Quebec City mosque. But prior to this date, there was no security as evening prayers ended.
He walked up to this spot, right here. The believers had just finished their prayers. They were over there by the wall. So he arrived this way with his weapon. And from here he opened fire on the believers.
In just a few minutes, Alexandre Bissonnette, a 27-year-old born in Quebec, shot and killed 6 Muslims. Mohamed Labidi says the shooting is unsurprising. In the past few months, the mosque was targeted with Islamophobic graffiti. And last June, a severed pig's head was left in the mosque's entrance. Members of the mosque alerted authorities on social media, but there was no response.
The pig's head was dropped right here in a plate. It was wrapped up just like a present, as if someone had offered us a gift. Islamophobia had been increasing day after day. We saw it coming. Just 1 week before this tragedy, we even announced that we were going to begin work to reinforce our Grand Mosque's security.
Just like Labidi, many feel the shooting is due to an increased anti-Islamic sentiment in Quebec that is felt most strongly by a few nationalist groups. These groups include Soldiers of Odin and Légitime Violence. But perhaps the most prominent group is La Meute, which claims about 45,000 followers in Quebec alone. We traveled through the mountains near Quebec City to meet La Meute. Today is the group's council meeting, where members are proud to show the symbols of the group.
Here's Eric and Stefan in their wolf paws.
La Meute claims to be an identity group, their only enemy, radical Islam, which they believe threatens the foundations of Quebec society.
Those people are here to install Sharia in Canada and in Quebec. It threatens our way of life. Everything is changing. We're the ones being called extremists. But all we want is to keep living in the world we were born in.
On social media, La Meute posts anti-Muslim commentary. And in Montreal, the Centre Against Radicalization denounces this rise of hatred. A few months ago, its director, Herman de Paris-Socomba, posted a prevention video.
We noticed that actions related to the far right were becoming more and more present in the phone calls we received. In Quebec, far-right extremism has become a society matter. And yes, this is due to a special kind of context. Some medias have been playing along and feeding this polarization.
Some in Quebec City believe journalists are partly responsible for the shooting. Some of the highest-rated programming includes star anchors talking about xenophobic themes with no boundaries. These anchors declined our request for an interview. Here's a snippet from the city's #1 radio station after the pig's head incident.
I wonder if you all believe this was an act of hate, an act of Islamophobia. Well, I don't think so. It's an insignificant action. I don't quite understand the buzz.
One man, who goes by Etienne to maintain anonymity, decided to fight what he refers to as garbage radio.
I prefer to keep a low profile simply because many people who fought those radios in the past have faced a lot of problems, threats, violence, or lawsuits.
On his website, he lists every time the trash radios go too far and highlights how Muslims are the #1 target.
Muslims are being used as scapegoats, just like the Jews in the 1930s. They're being pointed out as if they were guilty of everything. If the economy goes wrong, they're stealing jobs. They're accused of importing danger when they arrive here. These are not things I enjoy repeating, but this is exactly what you hear over and over on some radios.
The day after the shooting, a local member of parliament, Joel Lightbound, apologized to the Muslim community for not denouncing what he called the stigmatization the community has faced for a long time.